Okay, let's help you get your strumming in shape. This video is about helping you strum in rhythm, in time, and also prepare you to execute and strum different strumming patterns. We're not going to learn any specific patterns in this video. This video is to help you prepare to learn and play any strumming patterns that you want. So as a percussionist, let me help you right now. It doesn't matter what instrument you're playing. We're playing ukuleles right now, but this would apply to guitar and a lot of other instruments. Let me help you get your rhythm together. So what we're going to do is use a metronome because playing in time requires that you practice with time and also in time, and you are honest about where you're at with regard to playing with a metronome. So I've got one on my phone. I've got an app. Doesn't matter what kind of metronome you use. You can use any metronome. And right now you can probably hear that this is a 4-beat phrase. There's a little bit different tone right at the beginning. But you know what? We're not even going to pay attention to that right now. We're going to strum. And here's the thing, you guys. Strumming is drumming. Strumming is drumming. Look at the action. It's the same action that we use in drumming. So just remember that. And as drummers, we learn and teach downstrokes and rebounds. And we can call that an upstroke. Now, if you're on a bowing instrument, it would be down bow, up bow, right? So downstrum, upstrum. We use those terms. You'll see that usually with patterns, arrows, whatever, you know, people use D's and U's. Doesn't matter how you notate it. The idea is, and this is a big takeaway from this video and lesson, is that we're moving down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, even when we're doing downstrums. So what I want you guys to do is practice what I just did, which is set a metronome, and it doesn't have to be every single click. This is a 120. I could set it to 60, and I could still strum at 120 with a 60 click, right? You guys get that. So whatever click you're at, just do down strums. And right now, you can use a pick, you can use your fingers, you can ghost, on the strings. We're not doing chords right now. We're not doing any of that. And I recommend that you practice just the strumming action. Don't worry about chording. That's another component of playing, all right? So let's put that on the side for right now. We'll pick it up later as we get into chord progressions and that kind of thing. For now, we're just going to do the strumming action, which is the drumming action. So here's the thing, you guys. A lot of you, if you record yourself, listen back later, you're probably rushing. That's what, as a teacher, I hear a lot. I hear people rush. And what is that? That's when you have a tempo and you just get ahead of it. You're going faster than the metronome. So I'll give you an example. Let's set this at 90. So 90 is like a, walking tempo, sort of a medium tempo. But what I hear a lot is you might be tempted to get, when you're playing, you get ahead and then it's a free-for-all. So what I recommend for those of you who, through observation and recording, if you're rushing, what I recommend you do first, rather than try to adjust your playing to the metronome, guess what? Set the metronome to a comfortable tempo for you. So if you're doing a song or you just feel like, okay, this feels comfortable to me, what is that tempo? Let's let the tempo come to you. Let the music come to you. And what I can do on this app, which you can do on some metronomes, is they have a thing called tap tempo. On here it just says tap. So guess what? Let's do, yeah, that feels pretty comfortable. So I'm just gonna tap that out. And that turns out to be, according to this, about 111. Let's move it down to 110, just because we like round numbers, whole numbers. And let's listen to that. Now, because I just did that, I set the tempo to my physical comfort. That should be a good place to start, right? With regard to keeping time. All right. Now, another thing you can do, okay, so that's one thing, right? Bring the music to you. Bring the tempo to you. Second thing is be mindful that even when you're doing downbeats, you're still doing upbeats. And as a percussionist, as a musician, one of the things that I help my students do is subdivide beats. And that will help you also not rush, because rushing is like trying to get to the music faster and skipping over a lot of the feeling. So one of the things that helps is to subdivide it and feel the offbeats, or the divided beat as we call it. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and dot dee dot dee dot dee. So since my music mind is going double time, dot dee dot dee dot dee, I'm probably less likely to rush because I'm filling in those spaces with something, right? I'm putting something there as a placeholder. Now, that can be just in your mind or with your voice. So I can still do down, down, down. I don't have to contact the strings every single upbeat or any of the upbeats. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. This is what I recommend you try as a scaffolding step, as an intermediary step before you start to do or play the up strums, right? 1 and 2 and dee dot dee dot dee dot dee dot dee dot dee 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 dee. Do anything you want, make any sound, doesn't matter. Subdivide. Then you can add up strums. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down up down up down up down up. Ding dun dun dun. And again, when we're doing this, all we're doing is paying attention to the steady beat. We're not even thinking about meter right now. Don't worry about it. Simplify things for you. Make it easy on yourself. All right, now we've got one more thing that I want to do in this video. Another suggestion, when you do get into learning strumming patterns, and let me just say, there's nothing wrong with learning strumming patterns. However, I will add my personal opinion is that strumming patterns are a little overrated and not something that I think any of us should be serving over the music in general. In other words, play the music, play musically, play in a way that's inspiring people, try to capture as much of the feeling of whatever song you're doing, whatever music you're playing, and don't worry so much about the specific strumming pattern, because when you do that, you become like a slave to the pattern, rather than a server of the music. Does that make sense? Don't worry about the strumming patterns, especially when you're in the beginning stages of playing. It's not that important. It's more important to play, to get a good sound on the instrument, to make the chord changes in time, to just let the instrument ring out. Because why are we playing? We're playing to accompany singing, usually. And as long as you're doing that, just get the chord out, get it changing in time, get the chords changing in time. That's the most important thing. Then let the strumming patterns develop over time. They will develop naturally. Okay, that's all I'm going to say on that. It's just, don't worry about learning a bunch of strumming patterns. Not the most important thing. Not as important as having fun playing the ukulele and singing along. Okay, so last thing is when you want to practice a strumming pattern, rather than trying to go straight to doing the strumming pattern, try it vocally or verbally with still doing your down and up strums in a steady down, up, down, up, down, up fashion. I'll give you an example. Let's put the metronome back on, get your strumming, and let's just do what most people call the island strum, right? Which is down, down, up, down, dee, da, dee, 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 dum, bum, 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 bum. Listen to my strumming here. Down, up, down, up. On the ukulele, I'm just strumming, I'm drumming strumming. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And again, I'm not worrying about doing the strum on my ukulele. I'm training myself to feel the down and ups. Down, down, Dee, 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 ding, ding, ding. Just verbalize it, vocalize it. Dee, 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 ding, ding, ding. Dee, 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 dee. Dee, 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 dee. Dee, 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 right? And then start to accent. Dee, 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 ding, ding, ding. Dee, 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 dee. Dee, 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 dee. Dee, 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 dee. And then maybe do it in a chord. Okay? Yes, my friends. Let's review. Okay? Number one concept. Strumming is drumming. It's the same action. Number two concept. We're strumming with downs and ups. Down beats on the main beat, where you would be stepping if you were dancing or walking, and ups on the off beats, on the ands, for most strums. Not for all. There are exceptions. But for most strumming patterns, down on the beat, up on the upbeat, right? Or the off beats. Practice number one. Make the rhythm come to you. Start with a comfortable tempo, all right? What is that? Only you can answer that. Move your arm, strum, just find something that's comfortable. Tap it into your metronome or experiment, change the settings until it feels comfortable. Subdivide, all right? So practice number two concept. Subdivide the beat so you don't speed up and you don't rush. All right, number three, make sure you're comfortable doing down ups first. Down up, down up, down up. Then vocalize the rhythm of the strumming pattern that you're trying to learn. And keep your strumming steady. Keep it steady. Because what happens is people start doing down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, instead of just going down, down, up, down, up, down. So that's really the big concept, is that you're going to keep the motor going, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Keep that going. And then the strumming pattern, you're just picking some of those beats to bring out, right? You're just making some loud and you're ghosting or, passing by, not playing some of the other beats, but you're still doing the movement of downs and ups. That's the key, you guys, to the strumming patterns. But right now, we're really talking about not just the strumming patterns, but also how to play in time and not slow down, not speed up. Play in the rhythm, get the groove going, and what I talked about earlier, just keep the beat and strum and make sure you're getting to the chords on time, because that's the number one thing. So the last big concept is strumming patterns, probably a little bit overrated. Don't worry about them when you're starting off. You're a novice, you're a beginner, and just let them develop. They will come to you over time. Don't worry about it. Don't worry, be strummy, all right? That's what I have for you in this video, guys. I hope it's helpful. If you have any other tips, comments, kind words, leave it in the comment section. All right, we'll put links in the description to other resources. Thanks for being on the Ukulele Club channel. I'm Kalani. We'll see you again.